Hi, this is Denise Matthew. Hope you're doing well. Back again for another week of the transits. So the sun remains in the gate 53. We had the new moon a couple days ago, and I hope everybody had some powerful new beginnings. When we have these new beginnings that we want to bring into manifestation, they're not overnight beginnings. They're beginnings that will take time to come to fruition. They're beginnings that have a cycle. And we always know that with a cycle, sometimes we have starts and stops within those cycles where things will not happen and then they'll start up again. I mean, that's the nature of experience. Anything that is abstract energy, like the gate 53, it's something we start and we don't really know where it's going to go. We have a few expectations, but that can shift as we go. And you kind of go on the ride and see how it all plays out. It's a holding loosely of the idea of where you want to go with this. And again, you have these checkpoints where you can check in again. All new beginnings don't have to be brand new. They could be something that we have already built a foundation and we're just kind of upping the game in some way. It's an interesting energy. And because it was such a powerful new moon, I felt it was a very powerful new moon. Let's see how it plays out in the future. And the last thing I want to say about the gate 53 or the format energies is that if you have any abstract energy within your body graph, there's a good chance that you will be affected by the gate 53 in some way, or the gate 42, basically. And they can influence any abstract energy within your body graph. There's a good chance that you will have responded in some way to this new beginning, or this urge to start something new might have been there and you didn't even know it. July 12th, we have the sun moving into the gate 62. And now we're moving away from abstract energy into logical energy. And logical energy is about predicting the future. It is about patterns. It is about trying to find out where we are going. So now we're looking at the patterns going forward. Now, the gate 62 is a throat gate. So this is where we articulate about what things are called. If you have the gate 62, a lot of times you might have a gift with words in that you make up your own words or your own language. You might have an ability to be somebody who likes to research and to get into all the details, because there is a lot of detail work within this energy. So we want to get the details or the facts to back up our hypothesis or our opinions. That would be the standard way of calling it. So with the gate 62, you're getting in there, you're trying to get the details, you're trying to figure out all the things you need. It's getting the details so eventually you can take that hypothesis or that invention or that thing that you really want to bring into manifestation. You have to get all the details so that other people can actually visualize what you're saying. And because of that, the gate 62 has to be articulate in what they're explaining. That's where we get into this practicality perspective. The practicality is this ability to practically use the right words, to be succinct so that you can be ready to be sort of initiated or asked for that information. The way we know that it's the right timing is we are asked. And most people will say, well, will they ever ask? Will it ever be the right time? Yeah, it will be the right time. And when it is the right time, our aura tells people that. And if we can be comfortable and confident that our aura will say, yes, I know something and it's worthwhile for you to know, without having to blurt it out. And as soon as you blurt it out, then immediately people, you have to remember the gate 17 is called the gate of opinions. Immediately you give an opinion and someone says, well, I'm not interested in your opinion. You never asked me if I wanted your opinion. And immediately that's what happens. You might have done a lot of work on this, but yet because you wanted to get that information out into the real world, you got really excited and you wanted to push it out, but it wasn't the right timing. There's so many reasons why we need it to be the right way for us as a collective to be able to know that we are supported, that we have some stability. And that's what we're all looking for. We're looking for stability in the pattern so that we know that we're going to be okay. It's important energy, but it's also energy that, the collective doesn't want to just have anything just thrown in there and say, oh yeah, we're going to believe you and put that information in there. They're not going to do that. So that's why it's so important for you to be articulate, to be able to tell people exactly what you want to do and how you want to do it. And even if it's not exactly right, at least you can get to the next step where you can actually test it, then go back and then revise and those types of things. And this adds up for a lot of things. I mean, this is if you want to start a new business, you want to know what is the best plan. If you want to start a relationship, what is the best pattern that I know works for me. It's always worthwhile to take the time and effort to go through all the details, to do the research, to get all your facts straight. If you're looking at trying to bring something into manifestation, especially this week, having all the details will be really beneficial to you, because then you'll have that basis to support the theory. You have that opportunity to get that next step, which is really, as I said, we're all looking for that next step to bring that thing into manifestation. We're all wanting to have our hopes and dreams come into being, and the way we do it is by speaking them, and the gate 62 can do that. Right now, the Earth is in the gate 54. The gate 54 is tribal energy, and this is all about sort of rising up the ladder of life, and how we are always trying to improve ourselves as a collective. We're always trying to get a little bit further ahead. And the thing about ambition, and the thing about the gate 54, is that this is not about comparing yourself to other people. This is about comparing yourself to where you used to be, and looking at, I used to be here, now I'm here. How does that make me feel? Do I feel like I'm going in the right direction? Is this something that I want to continue on with? Should I reconfigure? Is it something that is sustainable for me to get where I want to go? And if it's not, how can I shift? Now, this is about rising up the ladder with your hard work, with your drive, with your perseverance, with all those things. The one thing about this energy is to know that when somebody rises, usually somebody falls. And that's not a negative thing. Usually when somebody goes up, somebody comes down, because that's the nature of how life works. So for instance, if you get a promotion to a job, somebody who was doing that job before you no longer has that job. Maybe they've retired. Maybe they've gone to a different company or something like that. So it's not a negative thing. It just means that there's always going to be this level of movement going up and some people going down. And if you're going one rung down, it doesn't mean you can't go back up. If you do go one rung down, maybe that job wasn't for you. And maybe that's that message to say, okay, I don't want this anymore. And this kind of, the universe told me that this is not for me anymore. So how can I shift and look at something different that makes me happier? Maybe you have this high level job, corporate job, and you feel like that doesn't make your heart sing. It doesn't speak to what you want to do in life. And in fact, it doesn't align with you in any way anymore. In fact, maybe it did in the past, but now it doesn't. So you take a job that is different. So you go out and you completely change, and you're doing landscaping for people because you've always wanted to work in the earth, and you've always wanted to make beautiful gardens for people. So you go one rung down, you could say, metaphorically, in that you're not making as much money as you were in that high level job, but yet the enjoyment, the love of what you're doing, the ambition to go back up that ladder is all there. And it really is a beautiful energy that grounds us into this idea of what exactly do we want to put our energy in? Where do we want to push our life forward? We can pursue the monetary gains, but there's also this, because it is a tribal energy, but most times we're also looking at, how is it going to make me feel in the long run? How do I feel doing this job? Is it something that's aligned with me? And on July 12th, we have the Earth moving into the gate 61. The gate 61 is interesting in that Pluto is already in the gate 61. The Pluto is in the gate 61 line 6. So Pluto has been sort of in and out of the gate 61 for the last couple of years because Pluto moves extremely slowly. The key with Pluto is that it never leaves the gate the same after it's entered and left. It basically transforms that energy. Pluto is exalted in the 61 line 6. Which means that when Pluto goes through the gate, it basically, there's a lot of people, it'll be in there for a while, and there's a lot of people that will be born with Pluto in the gate 61 line 6. What they're doing is they're bringing that energy for the exaltation of the gate 61. They're bringing the high energy, the higher perspective of this energy to the world. There's a good chance that as a collective, we will find or feel that energy of that exaltation of what it feels like for Pluto to be in there. Ultimately, this is talking to the idea that it is mutating the way we are inspired through the mind and through thought. So what does that mean? And Ra Uru didn't really know when he talked about it, but he did say that it was definitely going to mutate the way we're inspired as a collective. And it was a very positive thing. So the whole key that I've sort of gone on a little tangent here is that we have the Earth going in and it's going to connect with Pluto. This could mean that we're going to have some activation of this energy. What is exactly are we going to see in the world around us? What are we going to ground in? What kind of mental health kind of mutations are we going to have? And again, this could be something that is very positive, because this is what we call, like I said, the exaltation, which is considered the higher side of the energy, which we haven't had since probably the late 1800s. So something to look forward to. And this might give us a little precursor as to what exactly it's going to mean. What are we going to see in the world? What's going to show up? Because Pluto is a generational energy, that is a world energy that's going to be more impactful for the world and the global cycles. So there's potential this week to be sort of lost in our thoughts, looking for that inspiration. This is the pressure that pushes us to figure things out, to find out the meaning of what's happening. This could be potential for also some big downloads, mutative downloads about giving clarity to things that you've been looking for answers to, a lot of things, and you really haven't had the answers, and suddenly you have this eureka moment where you have an answer to something that has been kind of sitting with you for a long time. So you're actually starting to get some downloads. And this is also looking for occult knowledge. And if we know that the gate 61 plays in with the gate 62, we're looking for details about the things that are occult or hidden. Occult just means hidden. So this is looking for hidden information, the details. Maybe we have hypotheses and we're starting to get that inner truth, that knowledge, that missing part of that thing that we want it to sort of get the details, so that we can bolster our opinions or bolster our theories, so that we can actually move to the next step. So there is potential delusion within this energy, as well as paranoia. This could be a resurgence of conspiracy theories and those types of things. We might hear more of that in the news. The other thing to notice about Mercury is that it's behind the sun. So it's going over all the same gates that the sun's just transited through. So we're having a bit of that energy being replayed, like a resurgence of the energy that we had a couple of weeks ago. And it's kind of a reminder to say, what exactly are we doing with the energy? If we had the 952 that we had before, and that is sort of the energy to focus on the patterns and see the big picture of the patterns in your life, where you want to go in the future. What new patterns do you want to put into play? What exactly have you done with the information that you discovered? Have you used it and set some new patterns in motion? And if you haven't, there's always this opportunity to do it again, because we do have Mercury that eventually is going to move into the gate 53. So we have a new beginning. And Mercury is, it is all about communication and those types of things. So this could be actually starting to speak those energies, or to communicate those energies of the things that you want to do, so that they can start to happen, to get some manifestation, because ultimately that's what we want to do. We want to bring things into form that were only once a thought. Mercury's in the gate 15. This is just talking potential for extremes in how people are communicating and what they're saying, and kind of also talk about environmentalism and activism. That continues for a couple more days, and then we'll move on to the gate 52, back to this idea of stillness, getting into that space of, you've collected a bunch of details. Start to focus on those details, all the things that we've sort of brought into play. Get the theories to see the patterns, what exactly needs to happen, because this is where we're actually doing things where we get energy to make things happen. The theories become a pattern, and a pattern can become something bigger, where we have this ability to get our theories out into the world, have them tested, have the support we need to get to the next step. A lot of energy to really make some shifts in our lives, to start to bring those tangible results into our life that we really wanted to do. And it's interesting how, like I said, Mercury is coming into logical energy at the same time we have the sun moving into logical energy as well. And as soon as we finish up with the 952 energy, now remember the 9 is the south node. So where this is talking about past patterns, things that we've already done before, and focusing on where we want to go in the future with those past patterns. Now we're returning to the gate 39, and we're going to have a full channel 3955. Now the 55 is with Jupiter. Jupiter remains in the gate 55 because Jupiter moves fairly slow. So this is the abundance of spirit, and the gate 39 is a provocation. So this is a full emotional energy. This is about creative energy. It is, again, individual energy. So we have the gate 61 in Pluto and also in the Earth. And we also have the gate 39 with Mercury in the gate 39. So we're talking about provoking. So we talk about Mercury, it's communication. This is provoking with words, potentially bringing people into the right spirit with your words, or the opposite is just provoking because you want to provoke. So we could see both sides of the coin. Ultimately, the whole reason for provoking people into spirit is so that they can show their true individuality to the world, to express who you are to the world, because ultimately that's what we're here to do. We are here to be exactly who we are. We're here to be authentic. We are here to express every facet of who we are, and be okay with that, because a lot of times we are holding parts of who we are away from other people's sight because we're not sure if we can be accepted. This is saying that we are all here to be exactly who we are, and people who get us will be with us. And that's with the gate 39. The people who you provoke are the people that are not your people, and the people that you don't provoke, or people who accept you or don't have any issue with what you're doing, are the people that are your people. We're also talking about emotional energy. And because there's no outlet for this energy, that we know that this potentially could be feeling like there's a lot of pressure, and that you can't actually express this energy. And again, we get back to this creative expression of the flow of being with whatever makes you feel like you want to do it, something that you like to do, something that you can enjoy and put your energy into. You express it, so you're externalizing the energy, and eventually it moves, the emotions move. There's a good chance we're going to see some emotional energy, and there could be some vocalization. And this, because of the concept that it is Mercury, there could be some provocation that is happening. Having somebody provoke you, but also understanding that the energy is there, and that you decide how you're going to respond or not, and to wait if you want to respond if somebody's saying certain things, or that type of thing, to wait. And as long as you have the clarity to know that this is what the energy is showing you, then you could decide where you want to go with this energy in the future. Right now, Venus is in the gate 4. Venus and Mars are meeting in a couple of gates. So the gate 4 is all about answers. Now, we also remember that there's the yin and yang are the Venus as well as the Mars, and they're actually going to be bringing balance to the energy when they meet in a specific gate. So we have the energy of wanting to know the answer, to also have the ability to mitigate it, because you have Venus, which is a softer, more feminine type of energy. And then you have Mars, that's more of a masculine energy. And again, this is not gender related. This is just the yin and the yang, or the duality of all energies. And you're having both sides of the coin. So it's not like Mars is going in and demanding that they get the answers. Venus has a social perspective that says, okay, social construct says that this is not how you get the answers to life. There's also this idea that we could have this resurgence of prove it to me, tell me what I need to know. But again, we could have Mars saying, I want the answers now, I want the answers yesterday, I want the pattern to be corrected, because ultimately this is trying to fix problems, trying to get things back online, trying to solve things that are not exactly right, because there's a need for some level of proof that things are okay. And unless you get the proof, then you're going to keep asking the questions. Now, sometimes we'll just accept whatever answers we're given, and we'll just happily sort of sit there in bliss and be okay with the answers just because we got an answer. But that's not what this energy is about. It says right answer in the right time will come, and it will give you the clarity that you need. So demanding the answers will not give you what you want. Sometimes Venus could be just accepting whatever is said, no matter what, just because you feel like, oh, well, at least I got something, and just try to keep the peace. But with Mars and Venus in there, I think that we're going to get some solid answers that are well thought of. But again, to remember that you may not necessarily get it right in the beginning, but as the energy moves through the different lines of the energy, I think that eventually we'll get some concrete answers to questions and saying, we need to get back on track. What are the things that we need to do? How are we going to get back into the game and sort of make everybody feel like we are back on track? Basically, we can start counting on the concept that things are going to run as they always did before. The things that we relied on are starting to come back in a way that it's way more tangible, that we can really sort of hang our hat on it. On July 12th, we have Mars moving into the gate 29. This is a gate of perseverance. And then we do have on July 17th, we have Venus coming in, and it'll only be one day where they meet in the same gate. There's this need and this force within the collective that's saying, you need to say yes to what I'm saying. The thing about the gate 29 is Mars is exalted in a couple lines in the gate 29. The key word with Mars in the gate 29 is that even if you feel compelled to say yes because someone has said that they want you to do something, the energy of the gate 29 is it's very easy to say yes, to always say yes to everything, even if it's not to your advantage, to say yes when you should be saying no, because it's not to your advantage. And when you're always saying yes, you're overcommitting, and a lot of times you can't actually follow through with what exactly you want to do because you've said yes to too many things, and you just don't have the energy to spread in all the places that you've actually said yes to. So this key is that to say that, okay, I'm going to need to wait on this. Do I really want to do this? Is it in my best interest in the long run? Do I want to commit to this? If you feel that somebody is saying to you, I need you to give me an answer, are you going to do this, yes or no? Just if you have any ability to be able to wait for a little while to get some clarity, there's luck within this energy, being in the right place at the right time. There's a passion within this energy as well. And when you find that passion, the thing that you want to do the most, it's amazing. The places you can go and the things you can do. It's almost like miraculous if you find the particular passion within this energy. It's being aligned with the inner you, where you want to go with your life. And if you're always saying yes to everything, then that's where you're not actually in the flow of your life, you're in the flow of somebody else's life. So this is getting in touch with the flow of your life, where you want to go with your life. And also, like I said, on July 17th, Venus meeting, when we're talking about Venus, it's resources, relationships, it's those kind of social constructs, the things that we do as a society that we want to, the nice things, the beautiful things. Are we saying yes to the nice things in life? And maybe we are, because we've waited long enough, and now we're able to say yes to the correct things for us so that we can move forward in life. And this could also, like I said, with Venus and Mars in this energy, it could mean that we're in the right place at the right time, and we're just getting lucky because we're actually getting in the flow of our lives. As long as we're using our strategy and our authority to guide us, generally that's what happens. We'll get in the right place at the right time. So it'll be interesting to see if we're getting some lucky breaks based on this energy. And that's it for the transits. I hope you enjoyed them, and I will be back again next week. Until then, take care, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye for now.